Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where we are currently working on getting a lot of this farming territory up over here finished, and that is making distinct progress. We will get there soon enough. We're still working on drying out this area up over here, and these chinampas actually need quite a lot of work. So we'll continue to work on that. We've got all of this cotton starting to come online, and that will of course be very, very good for us. So with that in mind, we need to get our cotton exporting. We've only got the couple of objectives here, to be honest. Most of these objectives are dealt with at this point. So we need to do a grand festival to all the gods in 2 years, and that's fine in theory. Do we have any pulque coming in? We do have Megui. I believe we import pulque as well. Let's check here. We import Megui and we import pulque. Yes. Okay. So that sounds good. We should definitely have access to that. And what's this other? It's obsidian that this uses? Okay. Sure. That seems fine. So for the moment, that's absolutely a-okay. There's not too much that we need to do other than boost these numbers here, right? So a big way to boost our prosperity seems to be just having a lot of axe monies just in stock. So that's definitely something that we can do. As far as the culture goes, what would we need to get additional culture going? Education, religion, diversion. I don't think we can build a royal palace here. I'm 99% certain that we can't do that. But we could potentially get more education going. So if we look at this guy, service usage here is intensive. This is basically serving our entire city. So we could definitely think about another one up over this direction to help relieve some of that strain. And that would come out maybe like... I'm just thinking about where we might want to put that up over this way. There's this line of trees right here that is a little bit obnoxious. We could extend this out here and we might be able to cram it in right here. I think it's a 3x3, isn't it? Pretty sure that's a 3x3. So if we were to put that here, we would lose out on like one tree by doing that. And yeah, that seems absolutely fine. So that looks good, and that will reduce the strain on this. That's on intensive service usage right now. So that looks good. What else are we interested in doing here for our culture? Well, religion is at 19%, and we need more diversion. So up over this direction, we could definitely consider, there's this large garden here, but I don't think that that's actually what we want. What we really want is something like a sauna provides diversion, doesn't it? Hang on. It does. It provides diversion and healthcare. We could put a sauna here. Or we could just get some alcoves in over this way. So that's a potential option as well. If we were to do that, then that would be an alcove about here or so, able to serve a decent chunk of this area, although I don't love the actual positioning of this. Indeed. This is in the awkward block. There's some chinampaing happening up here. We can definitely do that. And then we do have an alcove here. I don't think we have one up over this direction. So an alcove up here makes a lot of sense to me. About right here. Yes, it can even serve this farmer's hut. So that looks great. We apparently don't have access to a well dipper over here. There's this well dipper, that's adequate service usage. And then we've got this well dipper, and that doesn't quite reach here. That is true. So we could definitely think about putting in a well dipper about here. Since we're putting services here, I guess that makes sense. So that'll be fine for now. And we'll just continue to work on getting all of this chinampa'd up here. That'll take a little bit of time. But that's absolutely fine. We've got lots and lots of time, I think. So we're at 2380 population. We need to grow our population somewhat. That's for sure. But we've got room for our population to grow. We might need some jobs for some of these. I'm wondering about our buildup of cotton buds right now. Let's check in on cotton buds. So which one of these is cotton buds? It's one of them. That's cotton there. That's cloth. That's furniture. One of these is definitely cotton buds. And it's this one. Okay, cool. So we can see that our farm huts have 75, our storage yards have 73, and our workshops have 3. So this porter yard over here, it's accepting cotton buds. We should actually have this be set to balance cotton buds for right now. And then this up over here, I'm also going to balance, and I'm going to balance. And the reason I want to do that is because that encourages these to move the cotton buds out to other storage venues before they get full. So that'll be good. We'll definitely get going on that. Also, this canal will be removed, just to be clear. That is definitely going to be removed. That's not intended to be a long-term sort of thing. So, prestige. For prestige, prosperity, culture, might, population. But mostly, this is from making tribute. Which should be fine. Where's our attributor? Here we go. So we're tributing fish and timber. Okay, we might need to get ourselves some more timber production, and we can definitely do that. Down over this direction, there's some trees that we could go after, so we could just put in a sawyer down over here to get access to some additional timber. And I'm going to do exactly that for right now. That'll be fine. So getting more timber would be absolutely great. This porter yard does have timber clay stone. Okay, sounds good. I wish we could export clay, but we can't, so we need to use our clay on Chinampas. That is absolutely fine. I think a porter yard up here actually makes a lot of sense. Right there. We can just cram it in here. And the idea behind this is this would be on balance cotton buds. It would also balance timber, clay, and stone for being able to construct up in this area. And then we could do maize and chili, maybe? Something like that. It wouldn't have room for fruit, but that's okay. We've got fruit being collected over here, so I'm not too concerned about that. But a porter yard up here makes a lot of sense to me for that exact reason. Now, this guy here, can you reach? Yes, you can. So we should have you no longer be accepting maize, only fruit. And I want this to be set to balance here. Okay, something like that. So that should be reasonably fine. So between these two porter yards, that'll get everything up over here that we need, in theory. So we've got this over here that needs stone. That'll happen eventually. We've got stone in the area, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. Our food, or not our food. Our food is not doing the greatest right now, but our money is doing very well. So that looks good. I do want to get these Chinampas finished up over here. That is absolutely a very high priority. Unfortunately, they are being very slow. That's for sure. We're making some Chinampa progress out over here. We're definitely working on it, but it is slow going, so that is reasonably fine. We're short of common workers, and I'm wondering about homes down over here. More security? Oh, that's easy to do. We'll definitely get some security going here, so that is a sentry post, and we can just put that guy right there. So that seems fine. We've got this improved sentry post up here, but that doesn't actually reach down over here. So this sweeper is strained. We should probably get a second sweeper over this way, just to relieve some of that load. So that looks good for the moment. This cloth weaver, of course, exists specifically to upgrade the modest estates, which are done. This needs access to more diversion to upgrade again. This needs maize, and this would need diversion. Okay. We don't have access to the House of Song or Ball Court. This would have to be a plaza, and that's a lot of space. I don't know that I want to do that. There's also the symmetry concern for plazas. So yeah, I don't know that we want to do that. For the time being, that's probably not a thing that we want to do. So if we check in here and look at the diversion, it's at 30 out of 40. I don't think we're going to get too much higher than that, to be honest. But I don't think we need to. So I think that's okay. So up over this direction, I'm wondering about having enough people up here. We can take a road out over this way. And then we can fit a common home right here. There's a little bit of a gap here. We can fill that with something. I don't know what yet. We could put a garden there. We could put a sentry post there. There's a number of things we could put there. But for now, this will do. So we'll get a home up over here, and that'll help us fill out some of this area. Should be good. Okay, we successfully sent our tribute to Shaltakhan. That's good. Our prestige is up to 6 out of 35. So that's fine. And we need to provide 20 fish and 20 timber. That should be really easy for us to do. That should be really, really easy for us to do. So we need to offer sacrifices for the new fire ceremony, 2 out of 2 victims. And we need to offer pulque for the new fire ceremony. 0 of 38. Did one of these downgrade? I think this one downgraded. It qualifies to be upgraded, so that's fine. That's not a concern. So we need to offer pulque for the new fire ceremony. We do have pulque coming in here, but we may want to step up our importations for right now. So we're at 31 out of 40 pulque, and let's bring that to 31 out of 80. And I'm also wondering about, like, this border yard maybe should balance pulque. Just to have it up in this area, right? So something like that. Okay, so we'll get some moved up over here, and in theory, we'll have the servings of pulque up over this direction. That should be fine. We'll turn down our importation of pulque after we complete this new fire ceremony. So that looks good, and then this guy needs maize at this point to develop, and I would love to get more maize going. How are we looking up here? I mean, it definitely needs more work. Speaking of more work, I want to have a level of Shanampa out over this way, but let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is the layer that we should be having a road on. Understood. So what that means is we should have this road come out here and come like that, just so that we can see this is where the road goes. Because it's true. That is where that road goes. So that looks absolutely excellent. We'll get all of these Chinampas done eventually. Eventually. We definitely need to boost up our food production, and I'm a little concerned about our finances all of a sudden. I think this has to do with our pulque increase, is my guess. 252 loss? Yeah, this is because of importing. Probably because we're importing a bunch of stone to replace the stone that we spent up over here, actually. I'm betting that's what it is. I don't think pulque is going to be this expensive. Yeah, the city's in debt right now. I'm okay with that for the moment. We'll get that handled soon enough. That's because we're importing a bunch of stuff. So for now, that's a-okay. So we can see pulque is being moved up over here now, and this will be able to make it into the temple. So that's great. We need to get 38 servings of it up here. So it's in position here. We have 20 servings of it. But we have enough pulque, I think, on hand in order to do this. We have 10, and then we had an additional... this is down to 10 now. This is probably moving into our various shrines, if I had to guess. And or the temple. Okay, so for now, that's okay. I'm going to leave this on 40 pulque for now. I don't think we need to import more than that. So that looks good. We've got the victims, according to this, so I don't mind that. We should be coming out of debt fairly soon once some of our traders start coming back with exports, because, of course, we've got this cotton here that we're going to be exporting, and we've got cotton here that we're going to be exporting, so that should be reasonably fine. Let's see. Yeah, you're heading out. I'm assuming you are carrying 67 of this. Is that fish? I think that's fish. So that's our fish export going out. That will definitely help matters, but we're going to need a little bit more work here. No doubt about that. So that's absolutely a-okay for right now. I'm not terribly concerned about it, but we do need this noble compound to upgrade. I think it downgraded because of a lack of food, is my current theory. And we're working on it. We just need these guys to actually build the chinampas. Some of our buildings need herbs to provide service. Not this herbalist. It's this one. That should be receiving herbs from this gardener. They're processing the harvest. I think that's just a small hiccup. I think it'll be okay. I'm not terribly concerned about that one. City mood is excellent right now, and our population is creeping upwards for the moment. But we are mostly focused right now on really wanting to get all of this chinamping finished. That's going to be a very, very big increase to our farming, and that's huge. So I'm thinking right now 2 of these plots are going to end up being food production, and 3 are going to end up being cotton. I want to check down here. Yeah, we could definitely use more cotton buds. We're not maxing those out, so that looks good. But we do want to be exporting more cotton as much as we can. We can see we're very negative right now. We're just waiting for some of our traders to come back, and hopefully that will solve the problem. Hopefully. So this is all very close to being fully chinampa'd out over here. That's good. In fact, much of it is now chinampa'd. Beautiful. So that's looking absolutely fine. I'm waiting for all of these to get done, though, before we remove these canals, because we are going to remove those canals. Those were always temporary. So that looks good for now. As far as all of this goes, we do have people out here working on chinampas. There's actually some areas out here which have been fully matured, which is kind of awkward. No doubt about that. But there's also a lot of this that needs timber. Timber appears to be a big lack at this moment. Maybe one of these farms should be a timber farm. Or we could just build another sawyer. We do still have trees. So that is a theoretical option. This area is pretty harvested. This area could use a little bit more harvesting, maybe. And this area, there's a lot of trees here still. So let's go ahead and put in a sawyer right down over here. I really feel like we could use more timber. So that looks good. We'll get that underway. Once that's finished, we will hopefully have enough timber coming in, but we could certainly use more. There's a fair amount of it coming in here. Keep in mind, we are tributing some timber, and I think we're exporting timber somewhere too, aren't we? We're accepting timber down here and down here. Okay, I want to move those over to balance. I don't want to necessarily have all of this timber here, and I don't feel like we need to actually have any timber here. Let's have this focus even more on cotton. We will be having more cotton production. We'll be ramping up our cotton production. So that sounds good. So this sawyer out over here will, of course, produce more timber, and that will be useful. We just need to slowly work our way through chinampa'ing all of this out over here. And we're making progress on this. A lot of these chinampas are actually happening down here. It's up here that we're having issues, which, of course, isn't terribly surprising. That said, we need a road section there, and that's probably actually what's causing a lot of this issue, because now we're going to be able to deliver timber to here, which is very significant. So let's get that going. That should solve a lot of the problem that we're having up over here with timber delivery. That said, we don't have any timber in this border yard, and we could get some. We have timber here, so it would at least deliver the timber this far. That's definitely better. Yeah, that's certainly an improvement. So this is a chinampa out over here. We need to wait for both of these to finish up. This chinampa is unmatured. Okay, it's not fully built yet, and we've got a lot of work to do down here. These chinampas, they are now done. So what that means is... Why were we allowed to demolish this? It's grass. Okay, cool. We can demolish grass. I didn't know that. I want to get rid of basically all of these canals. Now, these are going to go back to being swamp. Are these not being gotten rid of? There we go. These are going to go back to being swamp, which means that they're going to have to be chinampa'd. but that allowed us to Chinampa all of this space. So that is worth it to me. That sounds good. Now, we should have lots of Polk up over here at this point. We've got 8 out of 40. It should be being delivered out over here. My question is it being sold in our markets? It is. We should turn it off globally. So where do we do that? That's in our Commerce Advisor. Commerce. Okay. So we need to come over to Polk for right now, which is kind of the pots and pans ones. Well, not really pans, but kind of pots. That's Megui there. That's pottery. It is definitely in here somewhere. It's this one. Okay, so we want to say no market access to Polk right now. It will have access eventually, but we want to sacrifice it for right now. So that'll be fine. Okay, service usage of this is heavy, but I'm okay with that for now. So we're very negative on our axe monies at this moment. For right now, I'm not terribly concerned about it, but I will be soon. That will become a problem soon enough. So a lot of these Chinampas are definitely starting to finish up out over this way. That seems great. And actually, we have access to this cotton bud now. So we absolutely want to get that put in. Consider it done. In terms of food, what do we have in this granary right now? Well, it's not a lot, but we have a little bit of food in the granary. That's a good-ish sign. Emphasis on ish. It's a good-ish sign. So we're very negative in our axe monies. Are we not exporting right now? Because we were doing well in our axe monies. Okay, I'm going to bump that up in the number of cotton, but I think that we're not producing enough cotton here, and that might be slowed down by lack of cotton buds. That is a distinct possibility, but that's okay for now. So this is a dirt road here, and we should obviously have a dirt road connecting up over this way, although this is still Chinampa'd. We're going to need one more piece of dirt road there, and then we're going to need a bridge here. Okay, now this can be connected up. Beautiful. So that looks great, and I want to check up over this way. We can have a connection here and here, like that. We've still got some Chinampa'ing going on up over here, but these Chinampas are now very much in progress, and we're going to be done with this area very, very shortly. This area arguably almost is done. So we should extend out this road to here, like that. Yes. And now we should get in a farm hut here. So that'll go here. I really think that we need to have this be food. I think that food production is going to be very important here. So let's just go ahead and go to 16 maize, and we're going to do some fruit and some chili. Okay, so something about like that. So that'll be food production. And we'll see if that feels like that's getting us enough food production. It might. There's a distinct possibility. I definitely want to get some cotton going in up over here. And this Chinampa is at 80% right now. This one's at 20. It'll get there. This one's at 20 as well. So all of these are maturing. Let's go ahead and at least get this started on being online. So this is going to be all cotton right up over here. All cotton all the time. And you can see that's 31 out of 32. This Chinampa is the only thing we're really waiting on here, and that's at 90%. So that should be completed very, very soon, at which point we'll be able to put in a cotton bed here as well. So that'll be great. Now we're needing 40 servings of Polk for the new fire ceremony. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Our debt is starting to reduce, so that's very, very good. We now have this cotton bed going in. And as we can see, as expected, these are indeed swamps here. So we're going to want to put Chinampas in all through here, like this. And then that's going to need to be Chinampa'd. That's going to need to be Chinampa'd. All of this can be Chinampa'd over here. And we could just work on some reclamation over here. Diagonal doesn't count. It has to be adjacent on a cardinal direction. That's interesting. Well, we can definitely work on getting that underway and having this area reclaimed. That seems good, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see if we have enough pulque up over this way for this ceremony, but I think we will. At this point, we've got 20 located here, and we should have some pulque starting to make its way into these shrines. Yeah, we've got some here. So that looks good. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.